Hey folks, it's Jang here from ultimaterc.com, and I'm just starting out a little video series on kit building tips. In this one, I'm just going to be talking about the workspace itself. So here I'm looking at my kit building workstation. I've got a couple other areas in my workshop for working on projects and also doing other dirtier work, but this is how I've set up my kit building area. Nice, wide, open space in the middle, plenty of room to get the chassis right there. I've got tools off to the side. I actually go through a little ritual when I'm getting ready to build a kit, just cleaning everything off, making sure I don't have any leftover parts from other vehicles that are just going to get confused in there and get all mixed up and just cause little frustrations down the line. Got tools off towards the side. I'm going to be building a Tamiya kit here, so my hex drivers are all metric sized. Took anything that's not going to be usable for this particular build off the table altogether. Got a few different pliers for things. I've got a set of side cutters for taking plastic parts off of their sprues. Got a number 0 Phillips screwdriver, number 1, number 2, the all-important X-Acto knife, set of scissors just for opening up parts bags. And I've got a set of digital calipers, which are going to be useful for getting those turnbuckles to be the right size and also even from left to right. And I also use a drill as a power driver. Now this can be dangerous to use something this large. I set my clutch all the way down to the softest setting. I've got it on its lowest speed, but still, if you're going to use something this big, which is generally not recommended, I mean, it'll work perfectly fine if you're easy on the trigger and you pay attention to heat and what materials you're putting together and all that kind of stuff. But if you just like to go all the time, don't use something this big, use something smaller. Then I've got over here on the side, got my electrical tape and also some double-sided tape on a roll for attaching electronics and all that kind of stuff. In the center here, my main work area, I'm using one of these Cow RC work mats. No, this is not an advertisement for Cow RC. This is just something that I use because it's really cool. It is magnetized, so little parts don't run away from you if you drop them. You put them down. If it's a metal piece, unless it's non-ferrous, it's just going to stay where you left it. It also has these little compartments along the sides which have raised edges, so I can put just my screws from parts bag A in here, and then over here I can put my nuts and my E-clips and my washers. I know somebody's going to make a dirty joke about that. That's why I paused there for a second, but it's going to come. I can't stop it. Anyway, it's really nice to have lots of little compartments set aside like this so that you can put different little pieces as you take them out of your parts bag. However, these things do cost money, and you don't have to spend a bunch of money to get your workspace nicely compartmentalized. You just have to be a little bit imaginative and be willing to try out things that aren't necessarily designed for RC. For instance, over here, I've got this nice little tray, which is, I think, from a dollar store set of a steamer set for using in your microwave. And it's just a plastic dish, and you can open up a bag of hardware and just throw it in there, and it spreads out nice and wide so you can see everything. It's got rounded corners so things don't get stuck in the corners, and it has rounded edges so you can put your finger on something, pull it off to the side, and pick it right off the edge just like that. Very useful for big parts bags. For smaller quantities of stuff, I use these. I've got a couple of them over here. These are actually the bottoms of icebreaker mint tins, and they're not tin anymore. They're plastic, but they're great because, you know, it's a small little thing but big enough that you can still put your finger around and kind of move things around in it. And they have these rounded little sides, so again, you can put your finger in there and just pull something up from the side. So being able to compartmentalize things, you know, think outside the box. Old small Tupperware, even in the past I've used the tops of sour cream containers or cottage cheese containers. Those work really great. Just use the top right side up. Gives you a nice wide open tray. Really helps just to be able to set your parts apart and not have to leave them in the little parts bags and trying to sift through things, you know, get them out there, get them where they're visible, makes it a lot easier. And presto changeo, here's what it's going to look like when I actually start building the kit. So I've got, like I said, plenty of area to work on stuff in the middle. My chassis is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger with the major parts right here. If I have one large part that's going to be built up front, like a differential or something, I might just shift that over to the side when I'm done with it, so I can continue working on the main piece in the middle. I've got the manual standing up straight. This is a sit-down area, so I'll be looking straight forward at it. Don't have to lean over. It's just very convenient, very comfortable. Things are spread out, plenty of room to see things, plenty of room to move around. Helps a lot just to do a little bit of preparation in advance. It takes a lot of little frustrations out and can actually make the kit build more enjoyable as well as faster. You go through a lot of kits like I do, it actually counts to take, you know, shave off a half an hour or an hour from the build. So I hope this was useful for you, and definitely be looking forward to more videos with more specific tips on kit building. I'll go into very specific points about different things that you'll encounter, like building shocks or building turnbuckles, just little stuff that I picked up over the years. I hope that's useful to you, and if you have any kit building tips that you would like to share, please be sure to post them up on the friendly forums at ultimaterc.com. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.